anything with me. But I told him, I said, that's the worst thing to do. And that's many times what I say to you as my students, don't go into this trying to go onto social media and show your trading prowess as a report card. That's why I believe if you're going to have a MyFX book, if you're a Forex trader, that should be kept private. It absolutely should be kept private. Because as soon as you feel like you got to unzip your pants and show the world where you're measuring right now, you've lost the plot. You've literally lost the plot because you now have put a mile marker out there and said, okay, I felt so insignificant at that very moment that I had to go out and do those types of things to measure up, to let people see me and recognize me. But what you have just done is you've established a baseline now. Now you have to climb up above that. What if you don't have the skill set to do it yet? And most of you listening don't have that skill set. You're just now learning. You're learning how to find setups. You're trying to read price action. You're not even at a stage where you should be going out there trying to get a combine passed into the funded account, whether it be Forex or futures. You're not prepared. My son was not prepared, period. But left to his own devices, left to his own functions and need to be significant to do something emotionally, which would have been toxic even more if he would have been successful, because then he has the ability to become the biggest prick in trading. You think I'm arrogant? This little bitch, okay, would literally be a menace because he's got that arrogance flare in him, and that's what he's suffering from that right now, because he wanted it to be easy for him. It can be, it will be easy for him, but he has to do it God's way. That's just the way it's going to have to be. And the things that I was trying to spare him, and what I try to spare all of you who listen to me, I try to tell you how to go into this with the right mindset, because you can make as much money as you want, but you have to be willing to lose as much as you can afford. Think about that. That's a sermon in and of itself. I could teach on that whole premise right there for the rest of this year and not scratch the surface of the importance of knowing what I just said there. But all of you come into this and you want to do something Olympic. Go out there with the least amount of experience, the least of know-how, no responsibility whatsoever, because it's going to be the funded account's fault that you lost. It's going to be Trader Bates' data thing because you lost. Let me tell you something. Cameron got 4 of them going because they were like, no, it's $50. Don't quote me. I'm saying that part wrong. But he had 4 of them going. His mentality was, I'm going to get one of them. He got one of them. But one of them he lost. And he bitched about how he didn't get the fill he should have gotten. But he let it ride. And Top Step, if you're listening, do not give him a credit. I'm not asking for fucking charity for my son. Don't do it. He needs to understand that that was the wrong way to do it anyway. But there's always going to be some reason for the inexperienced, lack of self-control, no discipline mindset to blame everything and everyone but them, because none of these funded account companies make you push these buttons. None of them do. Not one of them. You do it. You come to the conclusion, whether you learn something from me, whether you learn something from somebody else, or you invent something, pull shit out of your ass. It doesn't matter. You're doing these things because you feel the initiative to go out there. Hey, I'm going to do it. This is my way, and I'm going to do it. And if I fail, I'm okay with it. But when you realize that you now aren't successful, and you blow out that combine in short order, now you're wrestling with something that you weren't prepared for. That's the reason why I teach the way I do. If I was honest, I believe that less than 20% of my listening audience is going to be successful. Less than 20%. Not because of the ability that my concepts can find setups consistently. It's the fact that human nature is what it is. Like, you don't have any sense of accountability whatsoever, except for your own. And if you don't develop that initially in the beginning, well, who's going to hold you accountable? No one. And my son had money to pay for these things. So therefore, he's accountable to no one. Dad's not paying for it, so I don't owe him explanation. But I'm going to do it, and I'm going to prove him just like he thought he was going to do, like his son, his brother Cody, my older son. I told him, don't touch crypto. It's toxic, it's poison. I'm telling you, don't do it. You're going to lose, you're going to lose. You're going to get shit tied up in some kind of bogus broker account, and you ain't going to get your money. Well, guess what? Just under $30,000, he can't get it. Oh, there you go. Didn't learn. This one here, the most arrogant of all my boys, really the only arrogant one. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to conquer futures. And I'm going to do it without your money. You're not going to help me because everybody's going to say that you did it for me. Well, hey, I can appreciate that. I was like, man, if you listen to me, son, you'll be able to do this in shit easy. It'll be easy. It'll be a cakewalk if you just listen. But it's not going to be as fast as you want to be. No, I got time for that. I got trolls to slap. So what did he do? He rushed. He rushed to get in there for an emotional stimuli that doesn't make any fucking money. Here's my FX book. I'm down 5%. I'm not being able to come out of that drawdown for 9 months. But here you go. I'm teaching. You want to learn from me? Devastating. That's devastating to a guru mentor. And it's devastating to you as someone that's trying to learn how to trade. Should you have those KPI stats, those measurements, those tools to measure your ability to manage risk? How do you come back from drawdown? What's your accuracy? What's your R multiples? All those things. Should you have those? Yes, but they should be personal. Everything in trading should be personal. Absolutely must be personal. Does the idea of you becoming an entrepreneur, does that excite you to get you thinking, I would like to do that? Most of my audience probably would think that's a great way of viewing life and saying, I'm going to strive to have my own business and I'm going to treat trading as my own business. That's wonderful. And I wish you nothing but success. And I'm trying every time when you have time to listen to me and I'm presenting these presentations, whether it be in this Twitter space or if I'm doing lectures on my YouTube channel, my intentions are to help you identify the things that might become a problem you don't really recognize right now. And you won't see it coming otherwise. And it'll be easy for you to feel like I just saw one of the young ladies that follow me on Twitter. She tweeted yesterday, that's it, I gave up, I'm done. No, you're not. Trust me, you're not. You're just frustrated and you need a break, so take a break. If you have tried to do these funded account challenges and you failed, stop. Don't even do any more of it this year. Take the rest of this year, learn what you're doing wrong. Identify some kind of resolution to those things. And come to grips with the fact that you're human. There's a lot of my students out there that are smashing it. Don't look to them and say, I'm going to do better than that guy, that gal, this person, that person. That's the wrong way to do it. Here's what you have to have as a mindset, son. You're going out there and you're trying to do something that is one of the most difficult things in the world to do. Financially carve out your own way in the most corrupt, manipulated system there is. The city slickers that run this show, they have a MO. Your dad has the source code to that shit. If you just listen to me and help yourself get over the mental hurdles that's going to keep you from doing it correctly, once that part's figured out, it's easy. It is absolutely fucking easy. It is easy to walk your ass into those markets and say, that's mine. Thank you. That's mine. Thank you. That's mine. Thank you. But you also have to identify there's going to be times when it's going to be simply, don't touch me. because I'm going to roll over everyone today. You can't just go into every single day. You can't. You cannot go in with that same mindset. You cannot. Because every day offers the opportunity for intervention that you can't see coming. In the economic climate, the geopolitical situation around the world right now, it is ripe. It is so ripe for something coming out of the blue and completely decimate you. You have to be careful. You have to dial back your risk. You can't be pushing 15 fucking contracts because the funded account says you can trade up to that many. It doesn't mean that you're not my son if you don't do 15 contracts because that's the maximum they allow. A dumbass trades with 15 contracts. A stupid, dumb fuck that doesn't know how to trade is going to be using those 15 contracts. And they're going to be resetting their accounts every 10 to 12 days. It's going to happen. Don't believe me? Ask the people that are doing it. How many times, when did that account start? You'll see that they've been resetting and resetting and resetting and resetting. That's the reality. But you're only seeing a small piece of what social media shows you. I give you everything that's going to fucking hurt you. And I give you everything that's going to help you. If you don't want to listen to the things that's going to derail you, it does not matter how strong my weapons are. You'll cut your damn hands off. What use is it then? How are you going to wield your sword if you've amputated both your hands? Doing stupid shit, dumb stuff, not listening, trying to run before you've learned how to crawl. The reason why you are all going to fail is because the person that you see in that mirror isn't properly prepared mentally for it. You're looking at trading as a way of getting past some kind of uncomfortable state, whether it be financially or emotionally. There are the two factors. And instead of saying, I have to have a job until I can not afford to go to work for somebody anymore, so that I can make more money doing what I'm doing, whether it be running a business or doing trading, either way. You have to submit yourself to that idea. And so many young folks out there, like, I'm going to quit my job. I see somebody out there all the time, new suggestion. ICT said, quit your job in 90 days, trading this silver bullet. I said I could. That doesn't mean you're absolutely going to be able to. But if you had the right mindset, can someone do that? Yeah. Can someone do that if they're making $250,000 a year? They have mortgages out their ass, college tuitions they're paying off with their kid, a wife that spends money like mine does. You can't do that. You can't. So there's levels to this, okay? And you can't just do a umbrella attachment to everything that either I say or anyone else says about trading. You have to make sure it fits you. And what I do and how I teach, I make it scalable so that you can take everything that I teach and make it applicable to you. Unless I say something specific about Forex being the only way it works here for this, or if I say this is a futures thing, don't try to use it for Forex. Unless I'm saying that at the time about that very specific thing or teaching, it's universal. The universal application of mental preparedness about trading, that's the first stage that you have to get yourself, you have to warm up to the idea that your first year, you're not making money. Can you, if you go out there and trade, get off the short? Absolutely. But the chances of you doing that consistently, and that's okay for some of you, you just want to win a lottery win. I just want to get a payout. I can just get this damn credit card paid off. I got over leveraged. You're charging me 36% a month. Oh, I just got to pay some debts off. You're doing it wrong. You're absolutely doing it wrong. So what I did was I asked my son, I said, where do you see yourself? If that does not give you anything going forward, where do you see yourself? He talked about a welder and his own welding business. He talked about being in HVAC and learning how to do that as a business. But he wants to be a business owner. So I love that part of it. I just don't like the fact that he wants to be a grunt. But I know that that has to happen. I've allowed him to work at a coffee shop. And as much as I hate hearing him bitch about how some people go in there and they talk down to him because they think, well, you know, you're just a kid. You're just a kid. They don't know his pedigree. They don't know where he came from. I tell that fucking thing. Bottom line is he has to be work hard. He has to understand what keeps him doing the things and following the rules. Otherwise, he spends the rest of his life doing that kind of stuff, answering to the man. Can I have off? Can I go home early? Do I have to stay over because you asked me? Can I get a vacation on this week? These are questions that I don't want my children ever to have to ask for. And you know what? If that makes me sound like an arrogant prick to any of you, fuck you. Because I don't want my children begging. You shouldn't be begging. I don't want any of you listening to me ever feeling like you're in that situation. And I don't want you to feel that way for your kids to grow up and depend, if you will, on somebody else thinking you or them. That's a terrible feeling. It sucks. You don't have control of your life. It's zero control of your life. You're at the mercy of you. If you're part of the working class, and let me tell you something, I was there. I did shit jobs. Shit jobs. I told my wife we were driving around. And all this is pertinent to this conversation, by the way. So if this doesn't, scratch the itch, go watch something else or listen to something else, or complain to me on Twitter so I can block you. We're out taking a drive with the no do, and I said, "How many jobs have you had in your lifetime? And when did you first start working?" And she's like, "No, this, that." And she had like 4 jobs. Started real young as a teenager, and when I was 16, my first job was a dishwasher. And long story short, I went through a lot of things, and I had 28 jobs. 28 W-2 paying jobs. Now, some of them I worked one day. Some of them I didn't even work a day. There was a place up in Bell Camp. It was a rubber tube manufacturing place. Place stunk really bad. I got in there and they were going to pay me $18 an hour. Back then it was great money, but I couldn't tolerate it. I just said once to a supervisor, "I gotta go. Can't do this." "Are you sure?" "Damn right, I'm sure. I'm out of here. Don't even worry about that hour I've been here. Keep it." So I've had a lot of attempts to be an employee. I just failed at it. And guess what? I am proud to tell you, I failed as an employee because I shine as an entrepreneur. I'm not made to be somebody's fucking slave. I'm not made to be like that. And neither are you. But you're convinced and told otherwise by the shit you watch on TV, the movies that you watch, the people you hang around with. Man, I got a good job. What? There's no jobs that are good. None of them are good. None of them are good. So here's my son growing up, seeing the way we live, how we live, what we do. I don't look at price tags. If I want something, I buy it. Nobody tells me I can and can't. Whatever I want, I get. Whatever I want to drive, I buy. So how could he as my son, understand the hardships that was felt for me and like all of you that have to do the same stuff until you don't have to anymore? How do they understand how to get past that? Or appreciate the fact that, yeah, this isn't the right way. They have to be put in a situation where they do it. But my kids aren't lazy. So when they get in there and they start doing it, you know what it was like when you first got your first paycheck, right? It's like, man, this is my money. I made this money. It's only like $300 some after taxes, but damn it, that's your money. You earned it. Something special about it. It's meaningful to you. It's not that it's a lot of money. It's just the fact that you earned it. You felt good because you did it. You went through the process to get there. Well, guess what that is? That's fucking trading. You traded your time, your energy, your life force, your time clock that's ticking down faster and faster as you get older. You gave up a lot of that, 40 hours for that week, to get that minuscule pittance of money. Well done. You got raped. Well done. You got taken advantage of. And you're going to have the audacity to call it a good job. This is a good experience. No, it's not. It's experience. It's useful experience, but it's not good. It needs to be work hardening. That means you see it You have to do it. You're told to do it, and you can't not do it to get paid. You have to do it. You have to follow rules. You have to stay within a parameter. Do this, do that. Just get paid off. But then you got to do it again. And where does that lead you? Nowhere. You're not going to make any money. So he has this mindset now. He doesn't come home defeated. He's just irritated because some people come in and complain to him. But now he's got that feeling, what it feels like if someone looked down at you. I needed him to feel that. Because he's a despite being arrogant, he's a likable guy. Okay, and nothing that I'm aware of, none of his friends, he don't seem to have children friends. And the girls that he pal around with, he's got one he's studied with now. She's getting ready to go to college. She leaves in a couple weeks. So she's leaving state to do her veterinarian career. So I spoke to him. I said, listen, this is such a perfect opportunity for you. Because here's what you can do. You can, if you decide that you want to do something blue collar, like the HVAC tech, and you want to go into running your own business like that as a, the end result, that's wonderful. But this right here, this is the real thing. That is a plan B that you don't really hope to have you worried about. But you're doing that because her parents, they don't understand.